So I actually do not have like a ton of experience with amaranth besides it being included in some gluten-free food items that I've purchased. But amaranth is a seed. It was used highly by the Incas and the Aztecs. I'll take my little bargain sticker off of here. But it's a little grain, and this bag itself has recipes for like amaranth almond blueberry bars, and then amaranth and mushroom risotto. So it's not really your like ground flour to make. I mean, I guess you could buy ground amaranth flour, but it would not have the consistency that you need to make like a baked good without adding. What happens is when you don't have wheat, so you can use wheat and sugar and water and do everything. When you don't have the grain wheat and you're using these substitute grains, you usually have to mix a whole bunch of things together to get something that makes some kind of consistency like wheat. And I realize I don't have one of my gluten-free mixes in front of me, and I think I'll grab that and talk about that. So the amaranth, I'm going to be experimenting with this, and that's something new I just got. So then there's gluten-free oats, which is a weird concept. So oats do have gluten. So this is oat flakes. I read about how do you actually get gluten-free oats. So it is a process of sorting seeds and choosing seeds that do not have the gluten. I think it's a shaky business, to be honest. I know it'll say gluten-free, but I do not feel good in my digestion when I eat gluten-free oats. There's got to be some gluten in there. They're not getting it all out. And I've had many people as well tell me that. I think if you're only slightly sensitive to gluten, it's fine. But if you are sensitive to gluten, I wouldn't depend on gluten-free oats as a replacement, because I think you're still getting gluten. Then I have buckwheat. This is raw buckwheat. You can get roasted buckwheat. And the hull, which is brown protective shell, is not on here. These are raw white buckwheat groats. I really like these. So usually I soak them and then I turn it into like an oatmeal. Is it like oatmeal? Not as creamy, but it is good. So like I'll, put it in a pot with 1 cup to 2 cups water. So it's similar to oats. You do 2 to 1. And then I'll add milk and ghee and honey and fruit and, cook it until the groats are soft. And it's not the same texture, but it's similar. It's a hot cereal. It's good. I enjoy that a lot. Another gluten-free item. These are new that I just found. They're Veggie Craft Penne. And the ingredients, now this is all they say they use. I don't know. Pea flour, lentil flour, and cauliflower. I don't know how you can just use that to turn it into a noodle. Obviously, you need water, and I feel like you need some kind of binder, but that is the only 3 ingredients that are listed here on this box. Fiber, 5 grams of fiber, pretty much 15% iron, 15% potassium in a serving. And a serving is 2/3 cup. So a lot of the gluten-free noodle options I don't like, and they bother me. Like the chickpeas make me very gassy and uncomfortable. I think that is the glyphosate, because chickpeas are really sprayed with glyphosate. This brand is awesome. I love it. I don't feel bothered by it. I feel really good. But like I said, I feel like what else is in here, because I don't think it's just these 3 flours, pea, lentil, and cauliflower. But I really, really like these. All right, so this is the last gluten-free item I'm going to share here today. And this is King Arthur gluten-free measure for measure flour. Substitute for wheat, basically, is what we're looking at. And what we have here is rice flour, whole grain brown rice flour, sorghum flour, tapioca starch, potato starch, cellulose, vitamin and mineral blend. So they have added calcium carbonate, B3, iron, B1, B2, xanthan gum, and cellulose gum. So that whole mix is to replicate wheat, basically, and they're adding vitamins back in, which is nice. I tried to do a sourdough starter when this didn't work. It kept molding, and I was told that you don't want to use these blends that have the gum, the xanthan gum. Now, I had an open bag, and the bag had been open for a while, and it might have had some mold exposure, or I don't know, but the sourdough was not working. So I gave up on that, and I'm going to try the einkorn sourdough starter. So what do I have to say about this? It works good. You can make a nice loaf of bread with this. What I don't like about these blends is the protein is so low. So, the almond has a lot of protein, the almond flour. The grains have a lot of protein. This has 1 gram of protein for 4 tablespoons. It doesn't have a lot of fat, which is kind of nice. I definitely have a little layer of fat from all of the foods that I eat that replace a lot of the grains that I don't eat. So and dairy, unless it's goat, I am replacing my dairy with coconut milk and almond milk, and so I'm getting a lot of extra rich fatty foods in my diet. Good, but you have to just watch how much. This is also kind of low in fiber, so I feel like it's slightly hard to digest. Whole grain brown rice, I love it. Why it's not more whole grain brown rice, I don't know. There's a lot of white rice flour, and that, white rice is there's no fiber in that. I think the white rice kind of makes it a whiter, fluffier looking flour. The brown rice would probably make it heavier, denser, and less fluffy, and that's why I'm thinking that it is in there. One thing I love, this is distributed by a Vermont company. I don't know where they get all the grains. This particular brand is non-GMO, verified. It's decent if you want to make cookies or you want to make bread or something for your family and you just are not able to because of being gluten-free, but you're not going to get the rich nutrients and fiber that wheat can provide. So it is a challenge. And I'll have to make a whole video how to nutritively feed your children if they're gluten-free, because a lot of these gluten-free products are not giving you the same nutrients that you would get with wheat or barley or oats. Well, oats are not the same, but corn, real corn. I'm not talking GMO corn. All cultures across the world had a staple grain that they turned into a bread that was staple in their diet for every meal. So I hope I gave you some good information here. Please let me know what you think. Share in the description, leave a comment, and come again soon.